Good morning, everybody. This is another episode of Evergreen Motorworks. I hate to say this, but this is going to be the last video of this year, with plenty more videos to come of the year coming. But I didn't mean it like we're quitting, but this is the last video of this year, which is kind of weird to say because I'm probably either going to post this today or next year, depending on what my schedule looks like. But I know that's kind of weird to say, but today we're going to be working on an idle issue for a 1.6 or NA6 Miata. I guess the common problem is, since I've already eliminated some of these from what I've looked up on forums, clean the throttle body out with, throttle body or mass airflow sensor cleaner, so that clean the airflow meter, which I've already done, but I'm probably going to clean these again since it's probably been a good year since I've done them. And then the idle air control valve. I guess sometimes these get stuck or whatever and they kind of don't want to function right with the engine, so I guess cleaning it out would be the next step. And then for me, I'm going to spray my throttle down with some, I don't know, like lubricant spray or some shit, because I feel like I don't know, the throttle's a little bit sticky right now. I guess there's a way also with this speed control valve or whatever it's called. You test the ohms on it and you're supposed to get a reading without the throttle being touched, and then you can get a reading, the same exact reading, when the throttle's all the way open. Alright guys, so I got it figured out. I ended up getting 4 ohms on a closed valve and an open valve. It idles better, but I think there is something that I just gotta figure out. But anyways, I'm gonna lube up the accelerator belt or the throttle cable, and from what it looks like, it doesn't look too dirty, honestly. I guess, let's see, on the back side it doesn't look too, I guess like it could use something, but it's not that bad. And then from what it looks like, the mass airflow sensor looks pretty good. So we're just gonna clean up the throttle body, lube up the throttle cable. Kind of looks like it might need to be tightened a little bit, honestly. And then fucking clean out the mass airflow sensor. And I also have to loosen my alt belt, because I guess rule of thumb is you're supposed to be able to turn this 90 degrees, but I think I over tightened it, so I'm gonna back that off a little bit and we should be good. Alright, so I was sadly mistaken. That's actually what the inside of my throttle body looked like after I cleaned it, or what it looks like before I cleaned it. It's like fucking pure black. So I'm gonna get in there better. I don't know if that's gonna fix my idling issue. That would be more like a clogged throttle body, but I don't think that'd fucking fix my idle issue. But it looks pretty fucking bad. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up cleaning the throttle body and then we'll move over to the mass airflow sensor. Alright. So at this point, I loosened up the alt belt a little bit because I figured that might give it a rough idle too, because I had to put on a new one. And after putting on a new one, all I actually had to do was just get the new freaking tensioner bolt, which I was missing for some fucking reason. That's why it was squealing. So I put greater tension on it and totally forgot that when it takes a load, it needs to be able to expand. So I tightened it to the point without the car actually on, super fucking tight. And so I figured that'd give it a rough idle on the crank because, there's too much tension. So I loosened up the alt belt, cleaned out the throttle body, adjusted the throttle position sensor. I don't know why I was calling it a speed sensor for some fucking reason. Throttle position sensor. After I clean the idle air control valve, and clean the mass airflow sensor. We're gonna turn it on, and if it starts running better, then I'll start adjusting the throttle body screw, and we'll see if that messes with the idle. Nothing odd or unusual with the idle air control valve. The valve is not shut, closed, it actually moves. It wasn't dirty or nothing. I mean, the hoses were a little hard to get off, but you know, go figure, it's an older car. Alright, so as you can see, it's just a little over 1K or under 1K, which is, I want it at that third tick mark if you can see it. So you got 0, 1, well, 0, 5, no, what the fuck, 0, 2, 5, 5, and then just under 1K. So it's roughly at like, I don't know, 900, but it's idling pretty well. And as you can see, when I throw the power steering on, the idle moves. When I throw on the heater, kind of stays in the same spot. Turn on the headlights, turn on the fog lights, and it's running perfect at about 500-ish, 600. But even with, let me see. Let's turn on the music. At 22 is about like its maximum I push, and it's still holding the best idle. And when it drops down, it drops right back down. It doesn't go to 0 and go all the way down to 0 and then drop back up where it's supposed to be. But anyways, I'm actually fucking missing something, and that's why I was idling really roughly. And so it was a plug off for the freaking positive crankcase like oil feed, so I have to go get that cap and put it back on there. For right now, I just threw tape on it because actually when you close up that vacuum, the car idled hella better. Like it was like 20 times better. Alright guys, so the thing that was missing was this. So watch her and take it off. Look at the idle. Put it back on. Idle's just fine. Right back to where it was. So I don't know how that ended up falling off, probably from the alternator. When we're changing the alternator, you have to take that tubing off, and it probably just fell off or some crap. But anyways, the idle's where I want it. I got all the freaking accessories on, the lights, the fog lights. I got my stereo at max where I usually have it, and the idle is just fine. And even though I went through all the trouble of cleaning all the stuff and other shit like the throttle body, repositioning this to getting it to dial in, cleaning the freaking idle air control valve, cleaning the mass airflow sensor, was all worth it. You know, now the car's running even better than what it was, even though it was just this that was missing. You know, that's gonna make a whole lot of difference when you got a vacuum leak like that. But anyways, what this used to be was, this used to run a tube up here to the crankcase. And so I put, instead of doing that, I just put a filter on it and then capped that off. And that caused the vacuum leak, so I had to plug that up. And so now it's just running perfectly fine. I got the famous Miata tick. Sounds like it's coming from a bad seal on an injector, honestly, or if not, it's a lifter. But I'll probably throw some shit in the oil to make it better, Lucas or something like that. But honestly, it's perfect now, and I'm not as scared as I was, like fucking terrified for my life, because it's my daily, and if I fuck this up, then I really got nothing, because the RX-7 isn't running too good right now. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you next year. We appreciate everything, the views, the comments, subscribing. Just a walk around. Like I said, we're all thankful for every car that we own right now. You know, my RX-7, even though it's not really all that well. The Miata, Mason's TC and his RX-7, we're thankful. That gave us a year-round experience of working on a rotary. And, you know, I'm sure Henry's happy with this FB, so. Like I said, guys, we appreciate all the views and the subscribes. Even though we're not that high up there, you know, we'll try to make it, you know, come in 2016. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next year.